let's start looking at some some gameplay. This should hopefully a game. There we go. Cool. Um, awesome. So we're gonna look over some gameplay from a on a player on Soccer Esports, Venusat. Hey, how's it going, man? I didn't realize you're up. What time is it for you? Isn't it 3 in the morning for you, or 1 in the morning for you? Go to bed, dude. So we're gonna look at some on a gameplay. Victor, what's your SR again?
Why did you abandon the suspects?
I never was an assassin. I killed only
1.6, cool.
because
It's a
it was
flat.
necessary.
So we're gonna look at your gameplay. So let me look over your homework actually.
Round one.
So
Capture
the
objective.
homework that we assigned you, we gave you a couple things to work on. Okay, so for your Ana, we want you to do a couple of things. We want you to work on your positioning so you're not getting run over. We noticed that that was a problem a lot in the scrims where you were getting pushed really, really hard and really, really aggressively. So let's try and see how you've improved on that over the past week. You need to like stop walking in front of your tanks, for example, is a big one. You know, you're making them use cosmetic shields rather than actual utility shields. And then let's look at your utility usage as well. So the nades have been good pretty so far. It's just a matter of making sure that you're using them when it's like a good time to push. So if you're throwing purple into a transcendence or when your team's able to follow through, that's going to be the biggest part for you. And then using sleep for yourself if you're running into something like a Doomfist or a Genji or having some defensive tool. And also like sticking next to your Peel teammates, so a Brigger McCree are the big ones as well in terms of positioning. So I presume this is just an Ana gameplay. So we're gonna look over this. It's been really up and down.
Get me.
So yeah, if you do already taking a lot of damage, you should be playing back here. It's like you land the sleep, but there's nothing that's gonna be able to be done about that. So when the fight's gonna start, you're gonna have no sleep, right? And Cloud, good game. Yeah, that'd be great. Let me change some settings real quick. Let's go to 5 seconds. Okay. So right here, what's happening is you're already lagging behind your team, and you're starting to run out into the middle, right? So thinking about your pathing as an Ana, right? Why is the team beating you up, right? It's not because you're not paying attention, it's just like you're slower and they're hitting the pace. So you are the slowest person on this team. But thinking about, you know, my team's taking the point, we're trying to establish control. Well, if they're running sim or something, they're going to TP into this window, right? And otherwise, they're probably going to run the team through mid. So you need to be pathing around the backside because you are not in a great position. You're going to need to go like back this way through the alley. So just like be mindful about what the situation is because you're going to run right out in front of your tanks in a weird way, right? Like your Hanzo's there, your Mercy's there. Yeah, this is a really fast approach from your Ryan, and he's not helping your team get the points. This is bad on your Ryan. But the easiest way to protect yourself is knowing, okay, we're gonna take the point. I can go back around. So sorry, I just had to answer a question real quick. So that's where you end up going there. Let me look at your POV. Right. So this, we're talking about your. Oh my god.
Your
like back there. So there's also some voices outside. So you throw that nade to save your diva because your diva's engaging, and like that's an okay-ish nade that prevents them from pushing in too aggressively hard because they don't know where the rest of your team is. So if your team is holding this area and you hit them with a nade, actually I don't even think you hit them with nade. But if you had hit this nade onto the tanks, this would have made them think twice about going in. So it gives you enough time to get through. But the sleep here, right? You're pretty safe as soon as you're here. what you're gonna end up doing is you're gonna abandon this sleep dart for when like you might need it in a fight, right? Say someone uses a cooldown, say someone builds ult. Well, I suppose it's the first fight, so there's no ult to be built. But
Nim.
this sleep is not something that can be capitalized on by your team, and you've gotten rid of it as a defensive tool. So,
Take your medicine.
like, it's good that you hit it, but it doesn't do anything, right? So just thinking about that.
Die fever. You're going to be okay.
This is not a terrible position right here.
Go to sleep.
Like, so you've stalled out long enough for your sleep to get back online, and you've gotten the soldier there. So let's go back a little bit.
Die fever.
Why'd you throw that nade?
Nim.
So that sleep does nothing.
Take your
But
medicine.
next sleep will be better. So Mercy's popping down.
Die fever.
So that nade, again, that's not something that you would have been ready to push into, right? So maybe using it when they're starting to engage on top of your Rhine, or maybe using it when your Rhine is ready to engage with the rest of your team. But this positioning, like your Doomfist is waiting to go on a flank. Your Hans is playing at range, like that's not something that's going to happen. So you're throwing nade into shield and you don't have it when I think you're about to need it in about 5 seconds. Yeah, you were trying to slow their push, but they weren't pushing. They're still poking you out. And now that they've gotten the Mercy pick, this is their time to go in. And this is when you need nade.
You're going to
This is
be
when nade's
okay.
going to turn around a fight.
Go to sleep.
Because like, look at what you could be doing here. You could be assassinating probably this soldier and maybe that Baptiste as well. With the combination of the Rhine. You could have saved that Rhine. You had nade. So you kind of ran out of utility there. And you're just in an awkward situation. Right, do you see how your utility got cycled out?
I've come back from work.
Like and you're hitting decent nades and sleeps like mechanically, like you're hitting them, but you're not timing them well. It's like that's an option, right? Is if they started to swing around and push, you're allowing your line to start making space.
I have your back.
But your team has 2 different ideas of where they want to go. Maybe focusing on Rhine. Also coordinating with your Mercy about when you can heal who, just that you're both building up your ult. Because Mercy's getting close to her ult, but theirs is doing, like both their supports are doing better because they're actually healing their team, and your teammates have been getting blasted because you're both like double focusing. All you need to do is just full send it 24/7 all the time, straight rush. Not doing that will get you killed all the time. Trust me, I'm a pro gamer. You play Forza. You play Forza, my dude. I would not consider that a pro gamer. Right. Oh man. My mic is super bassy. I don't know why it would be doing that. Let me see. I'm gonna turn my mic down just a little bit and see if maybe that helps. So my bad. I know I was doing that. I will look into that in the VOD. Okay, so here. Rohit, thanks for the sub, man. So right here, like I see what you're trying to do, but why are you doing it? Right? Like, what is this sleep going to contribute if you hit the Sigma? Right? There's nothing that this is gonna help with. Right? So you kind of just waste it.
You're going to.
I think it would be more useful for Hogs on a flank. This Rhine with the Mercy Pocket's really doing a lot of work here. And the Demon's getting in. Your team's engaging pretty well, but you just keep getting caught out. This is not a very long game. Okay, so here's something I don't think you noticed, and this will be more relevant at a higher level. So when your team starts playing, where do you swing to? Or where are you swinging to? You try to do more flashy stuff? Yeah, I've been there. So look at this situation, right? This makes sense because you're able to see your team around where they're going to be playing as long as they don't extend around this corner. Thanks for the 15 bits, Rohit. I have that notification turned off because I wanted you to stop harassing me the last time. I actually did that today. But then you swing like this wide angle here, which is okay as long as your Ryan's gonna be able to hold that. But then look at what's gonna happen. Right? What is this Hog doing? Hog starting to go on the flank. If he had decided to push a little bit further, he sees you, right? This is not gonna be good for you. And he literally just decides to let you live, and you have to swing back,
Heroes
right?
never die.
So you can be playing this door the entire time, and you'd still be okay. There's no real reason to play Lions because your Reinhardt should not be pushing into the mega here, anyways. And at furthest, they're probably gonna play like this, which is corner, which you can still see from the doorway. So this doorway for you to shoot from makes sense, right? This position is fine. This is if you're trying to get damage in or get a nade in. But it feels like, I don't know. It feels like your team isn't ready for that kind of fight to be happening, especially because your Ryan is not holding that space. Actually, the Doomfist is ready, but your nade gets forced out through the Ryan.
Heroes never die.
See, like you're playing a little bit further out than your team. So even though you've moved, the spatial awareness, knowing who is where to know where I can sing. Yeah, so like it's like hold tab and you see the Roadhog. What do? You know that Hog's gonna try and control space on a flank, right? So even though you're here, which is now good, your Ryan is now abandoning that space, and look at where you've ended up. You are on the front line with your Ryan, and you're slightly out of the way, and that Ryan's gonna back up with the Hanzo, and you're gonna still be out front, right? Like you're not aware of why the Ryan's backing up or why that space is being respected, and you've now entered the Hog territory, especially when you've seen him twice now. Like you know what he's looking for on by nature of him being Hog, right? So you've seen him in the left corner. You see the shots. Like you should recognize that there's a Hog over there. You're looking at the Diva. You hear the Hog, and by the time you hear the Hog, you get hit. Blast it, right? Is your Mercy Rosie?
You're not getting rid of me
No.
that.
Helden sterben nicht.
So your Doomfist is carrying this fight, but your team is suffering.
You're covered.
This Ryan has to shield bot. Yeah. So your Doomfist kind of carries here by getting this open.
Go. I'll keep you here.
Okay. So now you should be thinking about your next fight, right? You know that they've got a Baptiste and they haven't used Window yet. And you know they have a soldier and they haven't used Visor yet, and it's been 3-ish fights or so. So being prepared for a Visor Window combo, you should not want to be standing out in the open, right? You should be thinking about like, okay, how are they going to use this? Are they going to use it here to engage? Are they going to use it here to win the point? Right? Thinking about what they have and when they're going to be ready to use it, knowing that they have Tire, you might want to play a little bit further back from your team. Maybe a little bit more isolated, give yourself more time to hide. But tracking their ults is going to be important here. I know you're a big ult tracker with Sakura, so like, I hope you're thinking about these kinds of things.
Walk it off.
Alright, so your Diva forces your nade early.
You're going to be okay. Get real. Get back in.
Let's go back to this. Oh, watch this a little slower. Okay. I think here you can take an early fight if you nano this Ryan, because your team is ready to go in, right? Your Hanzo has this angle. Your Ryan doesn't have shield, but that's okay. But they're starting to push, and your team's on the flank, right? This is the time where you need to be landing a nade. So let's go back. All right, let's look at this from here. So Ryan's playing forward, Diva's playing forward. You're back out. Diva's gonna go around over the top. Doomfist is on the flank. So your team is now set up for this fight. I don't know if I pull up Epic Pen if it's gonna show up correctly. No. Okay, so I won't use Epic Pen tonight because I think we're just gonna do a short stream with this. But you see where the Baptiste is, right? You see where the Baptiste and Zarya is. This is gonna be kind of where the fight takes place. And as soon as they start entering this corner, your Ryan's gonna be able to swing. Your Ryan's gonna be able to do damage. So you're waiting for them to overstep into this nade and nano your Ryan, and you can take this fight really, really early and win it right away. Right. So your Ryan's here. You see the Zarya.
You're going to
You see the rat. Right. You know that they're playing forward. They're asleep out. Right. Oh, you don't have nade though. So you used on that diva. Right. So your Ryan has to back out when you could be taking a fight there, and in fact, it's probably optimal for you to be taking that fight there, because your team was ready to go. Right. Your Doomfist was on the flank. Why does your Doomfist die? Yep, because he's entering the fight alone, right? Your Ryan isn't engaging. If your Ryan was engaging onto this, your Doomfist is able to do a lot more. I think if you nano this, at worst you lose nano and you lose the fight, but you force out ults really, really early instead of just trickling. Like you've now just lost both DPS. This fight's done. You shouldn't be investing ults here. Well, that's like outside your diva. Your diva's trying to salvage it, but this point your Ryan just needs to die. Okay, well they're using ult, so this is actually pretty good. I have these moments with the randoms where I don't trust nano when they're walking back, but I need to just throw out anyways. Like, you just need to keep them confident that they're going to stay in the fight, right? Like, you see the diva flying away, and you turn your attention from the Ryan. I'm going to go back. Like,
get back in the fight.
Right. What's the example of this? Right, so healing your diva here.
I have your back.
Your diva takes a bunch of damage. I don't know why your diva taking so much damage. So your diva is taking a bunch of damage while she's pocketed, and you don't trust yourself to heal her, right? And you know she's healed because you just used nades. So now you're pulling your attention away from the line while you reload, and he's trying to take damage, right? So like, it's things like that. If this happens on a more egregious level, it's going to be problematic.
لسه في ناس لازم احميها.
But you're in the last fight too, place. That's so good.
أنا هاخد بالي منك.
Right. So what's the situation here? So they're all in this clump. If you're able to swing here, right? Like this is a good idea to be here. If you're able to hit a nade and nano your Ryan, you win this fight, right? Alright, well, there's one part. Why is your Ryan so long? Oh boy. Yeah, now everyone's throwing ults. Just trying to turn it. Right, like why are you nanoing here instead of... Let's see. Right, like your Ryan shouldn't be playing here. But if you nade this and nano your Ryan, right, look how close they are. Like, this is a good time for you to throw a purple to force them to disengage, and any stragglers the Ryan's able to collapse upon. And your whole team is ready to go in. Where's your Doom? Yeah, Doom's ready to go in up top, right? Your Doom's up here. He's starting his engagement. If you nano Ryan and anti them, you start pushing this really, really hard. But instead, people get picked. It's because there's a lot of hesitation from this team. All right, so the Dragons comes in to split them. They fall back. And they fell back and you threw it where they were, but they moved out of the way. Yeah, now you're no longer somewhere safe.
في الامتحان يكرم المرء أو يهان.
I can't believe your team is still fighting this.
I remember this feeling.
Like your Ryan's is doing crazy shit right now. Oh no, dude. See, like, okay, here you go. Here's an example, right? This is really good. Right. You just happen to have nade ready, which is huge. Oh yeah, oh, you died anyways. Where'd your nade go?
Go.
Heroes never die.
Right, like what are you throwing nade at? What are you hitting there? You're just kind of panicking and hoping that hits someone, right? That nade does nothing, and you happen to get it back in time. And then you do the same thing with the sleep, right? If you had saved either one of these,
I remember
right,
this.
what happens? What happens in this next engagement? You don't need either of these in. Like you throwing those out there, there's no difference between that and holding on to them at this point, right? And then you get hooked, and you happen to get the. Imagine what happens if you still have sleep. You're able to hit this hog because he can't heal, so he has to kind of like waddle around and shoot you. You sleep his ass, right? And then you reload and you get back into that fight and let someone else deal with him. And because you don't have sleep ready for this guy who's on top of you, right? And you have no peel characters to help you out besides D.Va. And D.Va is... Where is D.Va? D.Va's here trying to clutch out the point, right? You're not in far enough. Which is also hard because the hog's on the flank, right? But you don't have the tools to help yourself here, right? And because you don't have the tools to help yourself, this hog just kind of walks in and rolls you. Right? Like, do you see why that happens? That's because of the cooldown usage. My Mercy's there to help you, so you get bailed out, which is cool.
Thank you, Angela.
I think you just won this, right? That was just unlucky. Puts it down. Your Doofus is kind of pounding right now. Yeah. So you're like trying to predict these nades and these sleeps that are just not hitting people who are there, right? Like you're throwing them in, like panicking, and you're not holding on to them for when you're probably gonna actually need them. You're just trusting that maybe it will work.
Ready for battle.
Hello there.
Greetings.
Such potential. Spare me the comment.
You can't be serious.
You need to learn to relax.
5, 4, 3,
You
2,
can't be serious.
1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Get back in the fight.
Right. Okay. Let's go back to that. Let's watch this back.
Get back in the fight.
Right. What's about to happen? Right. They're about to push in. Your Rhine's there and ready to start swinging. This anti-hits. It gets the Rhine and the McCree. So Moira is not able to help either of them. Moira is probably gonna have to move or start doing damage. Right. So you can have your Rhine start swinging in on this because they can't heal, so they have to either back out or be on the aggressive and pray to God it works out. Right. So you hitting this nade here is good because your team is ready to push. Right. Your team is here. Your team is set up, and you've actually hit probably the most valuable target. And this is that Rhine. So he has to start stepping away, right? This Rhine should be dead here. No, I'm not plugging other people's switches on mine. Why isn't your Rhine swing? Was he so scared of it? Oh, he's got stairwell to worry about, right? But this forces them out. Forces them to play really scared. So you can just play like Chads right up in this doorway, and they have to figure out how to break it or move around. So you've fought for white room control, and that's probably the best place that you can be right now. Right, white room is the most valuable spot on Lucian control because it gives you the space to start getting in. Right, you start setting up from White Room, you can start setting up everything else around here. So you taking that as huge. And your Doomfist, where does he go? Right. So your Doomfist is going on his flank. Genji Doom, yep. Yep. 2.6k, man. I don't know why he does this. It's so weird. Oh, he's gonna die for that. Yeah. No. Nobody kills him.
The objective is now active.
Right.
Taking the objective. Get back in.
Is this scrims or ranked? This is ranked. This is not scrims. Yeah, what do you mean you can't tell? Right.
I've seen one. You're going to live.
So you do just get some weird fucking kill there. Right, your nade's good again because your team's able to start engaging. It's like this nade is fine. Like these nades are good because your team is ready to go in and you're getting stuff done. Right. Now you just gotta like hit your healing shots. Right. And your Ryan's in here. Yeah, you gotta start moving around.
Taking the objective.
Your Ryan is playing so aggressive. There's not a place to be doing so. Right, and you keep throwing the nade onto this dude. Like, this is the second or third time I've seen you throw nade onto a demech diva or a demeching diva. Like, you're trying to save her, and it's just too late in the end. Right. Nade on cooldown poggers. Well, these nades are okay, or those passive nades were okay, but that last nade was not great. Right?
All systems checked out.
But you're getting stuff done. You got nano this fight. Yeah, see, nade on cooldown. Nade on cooldown poggers. Right, like your first two nades this round were really, really good. And then you're like, oh, I have nade. I gotta get rid of it. Right. Your team is fine. You're not hitting a target, right? You're not enabling your team with nade, and you're not defending yourself with nade. Like, this is one of those times. That one was to reset your reload because you fucked. You can't. Okay.
This will help.
That's fine. Right, but just be wary, like, what's happening. Is you're losing nade, like, this might be a better time to have it. That's a good sleep. Right? Like, you didn't just throw sleep out randomly. You used it on this hog because you've learned after he's rolled you twice on the flank. You're like, yeah, I should probably be wary of hog. You called that sleep? Yeah. No, you were prepared for that. Right, like, that nade's not great, but whatever. Right, you hear the hog, you're ready for him. Bodied. Like, that's huge. You're calling for someone to kill your hog. Oh, that's awkward. That's really awkward. But there's like nothing you can do other than like put distance away. But you gotta help your team. Yeah, no, that's you did everything right there, I think. Because if you back too far away from the hog, you bail on your team. So your team needed to be able to help you out there. But you shouldn't lose off of this, I think. Like, you die, but Hog is just kind of staggering himself here. Yeah. That was a turbo feed to sit on the hog. You can play pillar. Like, well, okay. You can play pillar, but like, given what your team's doing, like, are they gonna let you play pillar? Yeah, if you're calling it, like, that's different. So you can play here, but what I'm afraid of, Ani, is that they're gonna push in. And okay, here you can be playing pillar, yeah, but even still, like, yeah. So like, this isn't the best place to be playing, right? Overall, you need to put distance where you can heal your team, right? Mechanically, I think you did everything right. It's just like this position is awkward. Although if you're expecting your team to do something about it, that's something else. But I think we've learned the important lesson: don't trust plats. Yeah. Like, this is what I'm afraid of, Ani, is like, they're gonna run in. They're just gonna int, because like, they obviously don't give a shit about what's going on behind them, right? So Ana needs to play here if you're gonna keep them alive. But like, yeah, pillars is ideal to play, just put some distance between you and the hog. But it's just like, this is not. This encounter is not on Ana, because that hog catches up to Ana no matter what, right? Given what's happening here, so like, I really don't care about what's happening here. Just like, when you go in a higher elo, like, yeah, don't do that. Don't sit on them. Put the distance between the two of you. But also in a higher elo, your team will be playing here, and you can trust your team to play this corner. right? The only time that you can be going down hallway in Lijiang Tower is like when all 6 of you are here. As soon as you lose one person, this door becomes really unsustainable to hold. So, like yes, don't sit on the hog, but I'm really not worried about that. Like, given the things that I want this person in particular to work on, Ani, like I'm not too worried about that. Like your team kind of fucked you there. But you're doing better now. Right? The main thing I'm concerned about, Ani, with this person is cooldowns and then positioning relative to their tanks. But like, given what their tanks are doing, like I think that was the right move. Right. They're gonna have like every ult here. Right. So.
My ultimate is charging.
Right. Following around tanks, Sag. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what has to happen. I think you should swing White Room just to check, right? Because your team's trying to play there for whatever weird fucking reason, right? Your team's trying to play in White Room, or like near White Room, and then you are just behind 4 walls from them. Like you're not doing anything here. You're not contributing to the fight here. Also, that McCree just dropped.
Heroes never die.
Alright, so you took a really roundabout way of getting to this point. What's happening? Right, like your team's in the middle of a fight and you're not there to help. Also, you and this McCree, I think, like just pass each other. Oh, he doesn't even look for you. Are you serious? Are you serious? How is this 2.6 there, ladies and gentlemen? 2.6. I thought the diva was me for the longest time. Yeah, 2 ships passing in the night.
Heroes never die.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, what's happening here? This is just sad, right? Yeah. You see your confusion when they're inside White Room stairs? Yeah, I don't know why your team's playing White Room stairs. This is pretty Pepega. But like, I don't know if like where you are is better than like back here. I feel like back here is probably better. Just because it gives you some escape option if they start pushing really hard to go back through this hallway, right? As opposed to getting pincered. Because what's going to happen is they're going to start pushing from both sides. When I zoom out. Right, you got McCree on point. Got people dead, and now you're getting squished in the middle because you're following your tanks around. Yeah, and then your Ryan's kind of botting. I don't know if your Genji was counting on Nana though. Oh, it's Spy. I just realized that that's Spy, not Victor. How's it going, Spy?
Go. I'll keep you healed.
Yeah, you've been holding on to this Nana for ages too.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Now they're doing this, alright.
Bedtime.
Okay, good sleep. You have it ready. Swing distance between you and that tank. That's fine. Oh no, 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 no. Okay. Let's go back. Yeah, I didn't hate the Nana. I hated everything else that happened though.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Okay, so you're doing calls for Nana. And tying the hog.
Bedtime.
You get in. I would, at this point, with the Mercy going in to help the team, right? And the, like, everyone is decently accounted for, right? You could start healing them, but I think you need to be putting some distance. I think you can swing out here safely and start having more control of the point. Right. Let's Genji bails you out. That's cool. Yeah, this is just awkward. How's that get Rat get back here?
Enemy. I've come back from worse.
Oh, last fight that they called for it? Okay. Alright.
Watching your back. This is going
Big
to
nade.
hurt.
Big nade. Shatter comes out. Yeah. That's good. Right?
Fire.
And you prevent the Rhyme from following up. Like that's good cooldown usage. That's fine. For plat, that's fine. Is it timed perfectly? Is it ideal? I mean, maybe not, but like you've done the right motions for the most
I've
part.
come back from worse.
Right? Like watch how this fight breaks down off of these two cooldowns. Right? I'll be completely honest, I've never seen someone get pushed in the chat. Is this a YPP thing? This person is my age on it. This is my Icelandic team. Okay. Right, so have you never watched Spylo, Ani? Because like there's a bunch of coaches who do this. Okay, look at this nade, right? Look how clustered they are and your team's getting ready to go on this. And look how much that nade does. So this nade forces them to retreat, right? Or forces your team, or it forces them to retreat and enables your team to go in. So now this push is way much more in your favor, even though they have control of the point. And they have like ult to work with here. But this now is in your favor. Right? So your Ryan goes to the Shatter, which is kind of papige. Not gonna lie, he only hits that Ryan. Like your Reinhardt, your shield boy is just botting the hell out. But like look at what's happening. These guys are not in a safe position to engage. This Ana gets caught out because she chooses the wrong path, and even though she dodges a Shatter, she's purple, and Diva just blasts her. Right. So now your team's able to start collapsing. Right, Diva gets that kill. Moira's hanging around the point. Right, and then that Shatter hits a lot of people with Guns of 98. Thanks for the follow. Like that Shatter hits a lot of people because your Ryan again is just. God, what is this Ryan doing? Honestly, this makes me sad. This is like silver, I think. He plays like he's silver. Ani, thanks for the sub. Really appreciate it. Like, okay, where's he look at? Oh, he's finishing a swing, so he literally can't shield that cannon. Wait, he does shield it. Wait, how does he protect nobody but himself? Are you serious? You own my soul now? No, that's not how that works. I'm sorry to say. Oh, okay, so your team is too wide. Right, but like, this prevents the Ryan from following up, and it lets your team focus on the Hog now. As long as they don't wake him up immediately, which I feel like they're about to. Right. Like, those cooldowns are fine. You're in a weird spot. Oh, please get around that corner. Please get around that corner. Right. Right. Their Ryan's going for an engagement as you anti him. Like, that's fine. Right. You're standing in weird spots that are leaving you too exposed to flanks. Right. Or, like, you're not aware of your flanks, but... I mean, the cooldowns there, I think, were pretty good. I think for plat, that's about as good as you can ask for. Song goes in. Okay. You've learned from the last time. Alright, see, there's a panic sleep, right? We're seeing the panic sleeps come out again. Where you're throwing it out. What do you... Okay, so... Your utility in the previous fight was really, really good. What happened? Right? Like, you throw that nade, I guess, to heal. Cool. Right? You're not in a position to help your team. That's more on your team than you really. Right? But like, that nade's okay because the Ryan's engaging you, so you punished him for engaging. Right? Who knows if that would have been the case otherwise. Right? Okay. And now... You know that this is not a safe place to be. You can call for healing from your Mercy. You didn't expect this massive push. That's fine, but you need to be ready to adapt to it, right? So, like, you're going back for heals when you could be calling for Mercy heals. Or if your team's running through here and you chase the junk out, like, you can get this healing and then back through here, right? But you need to be in a position where you can heal them going through that. Instead of, like, way out here. Again, your Ryan is botting. But, like, you do have to keep them alive just for the sake of not losing this game. Right? But like that nade doesn't do anything, right? That nade is to slow a push and they just shield it, right? So that nade does nothing. They haven't fully engaged, your Diva's throwing bomb. Right? So that's one cooldown gone. And then you hear this tire. You can't sleep tire. I don't know if you're trying to sleep the Rhine or not, but like Like sleeping this Nano Ryan would have been massive, right? Just preventing him from getting more damage done, because maybe it's a winnable fight with Genji Blade. And like you can Nano Blade Genji. They don't have any. They have Cole, but like I don't know if they'll be able to tank through a Nano Blade. That sleeps a massive panic, yeah. And like think about how much more valuable it's gonna be for maybe handling that hog, handling the Nano Ryan.
I remember.
That nade doesn't go anywhere, right? Like these cooldowns are very panicky. That sleep's okay because the hog's trying to push you, and so you and this Doom can collapse on him. Like that one's fine. Yeah, like that sleep's okay.
Get back in the fight.
But like there's a lot of mistakes being made. I think they just make more. Let me look at this. Alright. So Tyra comes in, kills your Ryan. Right. This Nano Ryan is sub-ideal because the Ryan's not able to close the distance very well. So everyone's able to just kite him out, which is, I think, the next best thing that you can ask for. They pop double support ultimates, they pop the Ryan, and your Diva's going in, so like they've used a bunch of ults and they can't get any value out of them. So your team might be able to get back into this, right? Especially because the McCree got caught out on the flank. But like, this is them taking a fight really, really early, and then Genji's ready to go in. It would have been cool to see you nano him just to maybe clean up this fight a little bit better, right? Especially because your nano's being held onto for ages, right? Oh, he messes that up. Yeah, because he goes for someone with fade, but he has the dash, so like this is fine. But like, imagine if he'd been able to hit that Ana, right? So he's already going to the Ana, and he's prioritizing targets really well too. Actually, got both healers. Yeah. So like your sleep on the hog is good, but that's the best cooldown I've seen out of this entire fight. Right?
Get back in the fight.
So your team didn't win because you're using cooldowns well, your team won because they carried it. So like there's definitely fights that are happening where you are the catalyst for victory, right?
You're powered up.
I think about sorry, where is it? Is it this fight? Is this the one I'm thinking of?
Watching your back.
Yeah. Like this fight right here, you are the catalyst for victory because like this is a really good
This is a
really good anti. And the sleep makes sense when you use it. But you're not rushing things. Like you're not sleeping the hog just because he's there and big. Like you're sleeping the target who's about to make life a living hell if everybody's stunned. Right? And you get out. Your positioning there is like okay. The Moira's in a weird spot that you weren't expecting. That's fine. But like you're opening up a lot of opportunity for your team to follow through to the point where it doesn't matter if they kill you or not. Your team's gonna clean it up. Anyways, it's like here your cooldowns. Your cooldowns are really good, right? And they're definitely why you're winning. And then we look at fights like here, right? And these cooldowns are coming out like a little late or like a little early, and they're not doing what they need to.
Heroes never
Looking at a fight like this where your positioning is really bad, you don't have the awareness of what's going on. 2 a.m. going to sleep. Good night. Have a good night, Spy. Get some shut-eye. Right. Fights like here where we're an anti-nano combo, like this is going to do a lot for at least stalling out the point, if not winning a fight entirely, because your team is ready to go in, right? So understanding the situation here is important. This is somewhere that you nanoing the Ryan is going to do enough for your Ryan to go in, them to back into the Doom Diva combo that's on the flank here. You've got Hanzo ready to follow through. Like everybody's ready to follow through, and you're kind of in a position where you're able to send the go message, right? You can hit the Ryan when they say 3, 2, 1, go, especially because everybody's in VC, even though they're not listening to you calling the targets when you want. Like, you make this work for sure. I don't understand that bomb, but whatever.
Helden sterben nicht.
في الامتحان يكرم المرء.
Let me see what you said in your message to me earlier. This is a match where I won, but I clearly felt like I was lacking a lot. I 100% felt carried in this match. I'm very confused. Could spot a lot of good raw mistakes in this one, I believe. Don't think there's much other games are worth looking at right now. They're mostly me being rusty, the game being one sided. Yeah, I mean, this is if it's rust, it's rust, right? And you work that out. But yeah, like just some of these things are like, you know, think about your cooldowns, right? Was this the one where you're like egregiously throwing things out? That's the one after this. Oh, whatever. I think it's this one. Right? Like that nade doesn't make sense. You're turning away attention from the dude who's getting fragged on by the Mercy. That's funny, dude.
Go. I'll keep you here.
You get sticky notes? Yeah, do the word method of having sticky notes on your monitor.
I have your back. Walk it off. You're going to be okay. Get here. Get back in.
Yeah,
the
this fight's I think just a big mess. I can't even really tell why. But just being ready to back out. It's hard to read this Ryan. He backed off really quickly. Yeah, but like why is he backing off, right? What's happening? What makes him want to back off? He's fighting the corner, he's getting pocketed, but his shield's at nothing, right? So he knows that if his shield breaks, he's gonna get rushed and he's gonna back off. So you need to know, like, okay, well, look at the situation. All right, what's happening? His shield management is really poor, for sure.
I have your back.
Because he's just kind of letting it get blasted, and you're just stepping in front of him. But he knows, like, okay, if this shield breaks here, right? 660, and he's stepping out, like he has no way of saving himself. Yeah, the barrier's out. If the barrier breaks when he's there, he gets rushed down. Nailed sooner, but it was the back of my head till he was knocked. Yeah, but I mean, like, we talked about nanoing this sooner. I don't know if everyone was talking because you said they were all in VC, but knowing, like, okay, your team is ready to go on this. You can see 4 of them lined up there, and the Doomfist is on the flank. If you know that this team is starting to fight, actually, when this Junkrat drops is probably the best time, just so he doesn't get spammed in. Oh, then you call out your flamer? Okay. You're right here, right? Once they start pushing, this is where, like, the nano would be really, really good. Right, because he doesn't need the shield. He just needs to start swinging and have pockets on him, and he's got one of those things. The Divas is also in a weird spot here. No, I think this game's alright. I think you did your fair share in a couple of rounds, but there's certainly some things that need to be worked out. We have some kinks to iron out, and a lot of them come down to panicking, right? Panic utility usage. And knowing where you need to be at a given time. Like, this is not a good place to be during this fight. I mean, your team's not in a great spot either, but you know, there's really not much stopping you from playing point, other than, you know, they're playing stairwell if they actually help them. But if you tell them, hey, swing out,
Nerf this.
Helden sterben nicht.
right, you're able to do a little bit more. They shouldn't be playing there. But also, like, you're playing really close, and then you route your way. You're pathing your way through the point where they're starting to go. You path out this way. If you know that this is a lost fight, which it very much is, back out. Because, alright, let's speed this up. When you're here, right here, you're pushable, right? If they had a Lucio especially, you're pushable. But then you're also in a weird open spot where that Moira is going to be able to rush you down with Cole, so you can maybe play back here a little bit more. And then if you swing through here, they're gonna start pushing into this area, right? They have white room control. They're gonna be able to start setting up their control. You can swing back around and play this hallway, and this is gonna be a lot more protected. Like, what happens if you're playing where I'm looking right now? You're able to hit Genji with that nano, probably. You're able to hit a sleep on that Reinhardt. If your Ryan stops botting out, you can probably heal him too. You can hit a nade on that Ryan. There's a lot that you can actually get done back here. That's fine. And all it takes is swinging out back, right? Instead of going right through the center of everything. So just thinking about how you need to keep proper space with regard to everyone. If you're Genji's trying to make a hero play, and there's a good chance that you could have supported this.
I wasn't cut out for
I
retirement.
don't know what
anyway.
else there is really to add, because it's a very short game, and you end up dying a lot. So there's only so much to be reviewed.
Go. I'll keep you healed.
But two sticky notes. One saying cooldowns, and one saying can you be safer / further back. I think to add on to the can you be safer / further back, it's can you see your team safely, right? Like you have to be in a position where you're able to help your team. Otherwise, there's really no. If you're playing too safe and you're playing on a Widowmaker and you just don't have visual on your team, that you're not going to do anything, right? You're not going to contribute to the fight. But there's no reason to frontline as there's no reason for you to be frontlining as Ana here. Brandon, thanks for the resub. Pog fucking shit. Yes, indeed. Yeah, but your Doom is kind of right. And like another thing here, another example is like you could have maybe routed your way out this way and take a fight on point, or been able to shoot back here. It takes you out of the fight just a little bit, but with the sleep on the Ryan here.
You're powered out. Get in there.
So use that anti, which is like, it's not huge, but it gets the job done. Right here. As if you make the conscious decision to slip out this way, Moira has no idea where you are, right? Let's watch Moira. She's trying to help out her Ryan and realizes that nobody's on him. And she sees you, chases you out. And she goes for you because she sees it and she makes mistakes, right? But these mistakes have been made anyways, but she doesn't hunt you down and you don't panic, right? You can go out this door, swing around here, and then what are you able to do in this fight? Like, let's watch this fight back from this doorway. So Nana comes out. Keep going. Alright. To sleep. So then, let's see. So I can't remember if it's like same movement speed, but like, let's see you got this door. Okay. So what happens in this fight? You're able to see Genji. You're able to see Reinhardt. Maybe Genji dies. That's fine. You're up to one tank, one support. So you're able to see these clowns. You're able to do something about that Ryan. You're able to help your Ryan, right? You're able to just keep pocketing him as he's getting swung on instead of panicking like that because you're in the middle of everything. You're not caught in the crossfire of this tire. You probably win this fight actually if you're out here. Even though it takes you out of the fight for like 2 seconds, it's a safe 2 seconds. Given everything that's going on, because everyone else is still relocating. Like that rat's still relocating. Actually, let's see. When you sleep, the Ryan, where's the rat? Right.
You're powered out. Get in there.
Right, so you feel the damage from back. Okay, let's look at rat. Where is he right now? Yeah, he's shooting on the point. He's worried about the Doom, right? Everybody's trying to look at the Doom because he's Nana. This gives you an opportunity to move around because everybody's focus is not on you. It's on the actual threat. Can I be safe and see my team for the second note? I think that's probably best. If I don't really want you distracted in the middle of a match, right? It's like I want you reading fine literature in the middle of a match. But yeah, like if it's a good reminder to you, put that on your monitor. Like, am I safe and can I see my team? So this happens when you've slept out Ryan. So they're focused on the Doom. You know the Doom's in. Their priorities are elsewhere. Actually, let's see here. How much time does it take for the Moira to get here?
You're powered up. Get in there.
So sleep.
Bedtime.
Okay, so sleep comes out. Moira takes another one Mississippi. So like 2 seconds until she starts actually hitting you, right? But during that time, you know, let's answer those questions that you just proposed on your sticky note. Okay. So 1, are you safe? Yes, you're safe there, but you can't see your team. So then the next question is, can I see my team? And that puts you out here, right? Because you're trying to answer that second question. Can I see my team? And in answering the second question, you've lost control of the first. So now you're saying, okay, well, am I safe? And then you realize, like, oh, can I see my team? And this is where the panic sets in. Is you're trying to set both of these, right? You're not in a position where you're able to do either effectively. And that's why I stand by like this swinging out. Right? Don't put yourself in a situation where you're gonna have to compromise both of those values. Especially not where you're oscillating between the two, because you just do both badly. And that's not on you. That's just hard to do as an Ana, right? Safe and seeing the team, there's a lot of times where they're mutually exclusive. Or there's lots of situations where you find yourself in they're mutually exclusive. Right? Like this is a good situation, right? And this is one of those things where we're talking about, like, oh, using cooldowns effectively.
Watching your back.
Right? Right here, you're safe, and you see your team. Right?
This is going
Good
to
cooldown. You're safe, you can see your team. And then you move in a little bit, and that's when you start realizing that you're not safe, right? And you're playing too wide here. And you realize, okay, I need to go back. And then you end up in the, I can't see my team, so you circle back around. Right? But right now, in this position, because you know that the Honk's dead, you know that people are weak there, and you know the Moira's out because you've just seen her. You know you're now in that position of, I'm safe and I can see my team. And so this is where adjustments don't need to be made. At least in this one, right? And then the rat comes back, and this is what alerts you to the other. Oh, I'm not safe, right? But then you know there's not communication with the Mercy, and now you're answering you're too safe and you're not able to see the team, right? So you just need to be willing to adjust around the team and when they're engaging, right? Being ready to accommodate that and adapt to that. So I think that's it for the stream. I'm not gonna write down any notes for you, just because the stuff that's still in your homework channel still applies. Let me pull it up. Let's see here. Duplicate this. We'll delete the webcam. So if I pull up your homework from the Sakura channel, does it show up on stream? Yeah. So it's still these few things, right? So I don't know if I can zoom in, but working on the positioning so you're not getting running over, sticking with your defensive teammates. That's not really relevant here because they're not running Doom into you. And your utility is going to be more than enough to handle a hog just because it's flank control. You weren't really walking in front of your tanks, which is good, but you also weren't in a lot of situations where like you could, because you were trying to hold the space, but then there were points where your tanks were backing and you weren't following through, and you're still stepping in front of them. So you've improved on the stepping in front of your tanks part. It's just a matter of doing it effectively. Your nades have been good. I still stand by that. But your sleeps need some work. They definitely got better with the handling that hog, right? So, so there's improvement, right? I hope you see that there's a little bits of improvement there. Because I certainly am. It's just a matter of, okay, let's accelerate that a little bit more. So yeah, good stuff. Alrighty. I think that's gonna be it for the stream. Just a short one tonight, but thanks for everyone for stopping by, and thank you to everyone who primed / bits / followed. Appreciated. So, all right, have a good night, Victor. Gather more material tomorrow. Yeah, I can't wait to watch it. All right, have a good night.